So in this preface part, if you have read, like last time, which you uh, heard about Mundian Rasa and Bhakti Rasa, the difference of it. So in that, Srila Prabhupada writes in this, what is the nectar of devotion? In between, Prabhupada writes about how the nectar of devotion teaches some valuable lessons here. So I'm reading from that preface part. Some points Srila Prabhupada mentioned about how the nectar of devotion, right? Prabhupada writing here, the nectar of devotion teaches us the science of loving every one of the living entities perfectly, a easy method of loving Krishna. Right? Sometimes it is said that when you love something, then you hate something. It's a general notion of this world, right? If you love your family members, you hate somebody else. So, and if you love your country, India, then you hate other countries. You may say it, but my place or my country is great because I took birth. So, general tendency is that when we love something and we hate some other thing. It's a general tendency. I'm just saying that Prabhupada is saying that when you love Krishna, we can love everybody. So, loving Krishna doesn't have that kind of that only one thing we can do, but because everything belongs to Krishna, and when we can see everything connection with Krishna. So he's saying that science of loving every one of the living entities perfectly by the easy method of loving Krishna. What is the easy method of loving everybody is by loving Krishna. When you love Krishna, you can love everybody. Then there is no differentiation of caste, creed, color, country, right? And all other qualifications and all that. Right? Because everybody is part and parcel of Krishna. That to not only to just the human beings, but even the living entities also. Other living entities, I'm saying, like that. So, so Prabhupada is writing, we have failed to create peace and harmony in human society even by such great attempts as the United Nations, because we do not know the right method. That's why Prabhupada many times he says that United Nations, every time one flag gets increased. The United means the flags should get reduced. We are all united. We don't need so many of flags. But Prabhupada says every time we see that one flag is increasing. So, yeah, further point, Prabhupada goes down to say, the nectar of devotion teaches all men how to perform the simple and natural method of loving Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So I'm just reading what benefits we get by reading this book, Nectar of Devotion, Srila Prabhupada writing in this preface part. Because I think we may miss this point, so just by repeating. The nectar of devotion teaches all the men how to love the simple and natural method of loving Krishna. If we learn how to love Krishna, then very easy to immediately and simultaneously love every living being. But that's a further point of it. Easy method of loving Krishna is being taught in the nectar of devotion. Further down the line, the nectar of devotion will teach us how to turn the one switch that will immediately brighten everything else everywhere. One who doesn't know this method is missing the point of life. So the nectar of devotion will teach us how to turn the one switch that will immediately brighten everything and everywhere. So where is say ना कि क्या बोलते हैं, एक तीर में दो, हाँ, दो निशान, एक तीर में दो निशान है. ये दो भी नहीं, 10,000 भी लीजिए, 30,000 भी लीजिए, एक तीर में एक तीर कृष्णा का मारेंगे तो सब सेट हो जाएगा. कृष्णा को सेट करेंगे अपने जीवन में तो बाकी सब चीजें सेट हो जाएगा. बाकी सब सेट करके कृष्णा को ना लगाना है, ये बहुत मुश्किल है. कोई तो डिवोटी बोल रहे थे ना कि तो कृष्णा है त्रिभंग, त्रिभंग फॉर्म में रहते हैं ना कृष्णा, तो इसीलिए आप बाकी सब सेट करके कृष्णा को अंदर भेजने में मुश्किल है, क्योंकि ये त्रिभंग ही है ना, ऐसा वो नहीं जाएंगे अंदर. बट पहले कृष्णा को भेज दीजिए अंदर, बाकी सब अपने आप सेट हो जाएगा, क्योंकि इधर भी जगह मिलेगा, इधर भी जगह मिलेगा, इधर भी मिलेगा, क्योंकि सीधा नहीं है ना भगवान, ऐसा है तो इधर भी फिट हो जाएगा, कुछ इधर भी फिट हो जाएगा, कुछ प्यार के पास भी फिट हो जाएगा, तो वैसा. So that's how the nectar of devotion teaches that how we can turn on one switch, that is increase our faith in the devotion to Krishna. If that gets satisfied, if that gets fulfilled, then everything else in our life gets settled. Right? Gets into the picture. That's how Srila Prabhupada is writing here. And down we are going, where he says, Prabhupada is giving here in the preface he is writing, the vivid example is America, the richest nations of the world, having all facilities for material comfort, is producing a class of men completely confused and frustrated in life. That's what he said, that the country is advancing so fast, right? Along with it, the number of the crimes, suicides, people dissatisfaction, insecurity also increasing. Right? We just say that advanced, developed countries like America, right, about USA and all, people speak about it. But it is said that uh, compared to India, I think it is more than 10 times the jails are there in America, or more than that also, I think. Whatever Indian population is there, what jails are there, America has much more than that. 10 times more than what the population is having, or something like that. Some calculation is given. So it's not, so Prabhupada is writing here that I'm appealing herewith to such confused men to learn the art of devotional service as directed in the nectar of devotion, and I'm sure that the fire of material existence burning within their hearts will be immediately extinguished. So, this nectar of devotion learning will make us free from all the material anxieties, material problems, fire of material existence. इसको संस्कृत में क्या बोलते हैं जो आप लोग रोज गाते हैं?
दावानल प्रभु.
दावानल, राइट? संसार दावानल नीतलोका, संसार दावानल है. So that get extinguished by following. Prabhupada is writing the art of devotional service as directed in the nectar of devotion. भक्ति भी लोग अपने अपने हिसाब से करते हैं, बट आचार्यों के अनुसार जैसे नेक्टर ऑफ डिवोशन में दिया गया है उसके अनुसार करना चाहिए. That's what here it is Prabhupada is writing. And down, Prabhupada, the root cause of our dissatisfaction is that our dormant loving propensity has not been fulfilled despite our great advancement in the materialistic way of life. The nectar of devotion will give us the practical hints how we can live in this material world perfectly engaged in devotional service and thus fulfill all our desires in this life and the next. Prabhupada writing, this is the third point, I think we are at 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth point. The nectar of devotion will give us the practical hints how we can live in this material world perfectly engaged in devotional service and fulfill all our desires in this life and the next also. So nectar of devotion can award all these benefits. Right? Prabhupada is writing that somebody asked that what will get benefit by reading these books. So we can show them in the previous part itself. We have got so many points. What nectar of devotion could award us in our life. So thus fulfill all our desires in this life also and in the next life also by perfectly engaged in this. And the next one, Prabhupada is writing, the nectar of devotion is not presented to condemn any way of materialistic life, but the attempt is to give information to religionists, philosophers, and people in general how to love Krishna. The purpose of nectar of devotion is not just to ridicule, right, or condemn any way of materialistic life, but to teach the people, right, information to all the philosophers, religionists, right, how to love Krishna, how we can develop love for Krishna, what is it, why we have to love Krishna, and how we can love Krishna. Wow, Prabhupada is writing ahead of this. One may live without material discomfort, come featured, but at the same time, we should learn the art of loving Krishna. At the present moment, we are inventing so many ways to utilize our propensity to love, but factually, we are missing the real point, Krishna. If we miss Krishna, then whatever we are inventing, whatever we are doing, all will get finally to the point of, yes, to the point of frustration. Okay. So Prabhupada is writing, giving example of watering the root. We are watering all parts of the tree but missing the tree's root. जो दिखता नहीं है उसको क्या देंगे हम, छोड़ दीजिए. Right or not? The roots we are not able to see it, but we are to understand that when water the roots of the tree, the whole tree gets nourished. Yeah. So that is why very important, right? We want to know that where our love could be fulfilled, it's by serving Krishna, by pleasing Krishna, by giving satisfaction to Krishna. Right? So that's all things we can learn in the nectar of devotion. Nectar of devotion is systematically going to make us develop that love for Krishna. And then last point, Srila Prabhupada writing here, the last paragraph, preface reading, the nectar of devotion is specifically presented for the persons who are now engaged in the Krishna consciousness movement. Like all of us are trying to become Krishna conscious devotees, right? Specifically presented for the persons, right? For all of us, so that we can learn some devotion to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that's why Prabhupada has presented this wonderful book, wonderful work. So these are some of the points, what benefit we can get when we read this nectar of devotion. Srila Prabhupada is offering us here in this preface that these all benefits we can get. So almost like 6 points are there here. 6 benefits we can get by reading this nectar of devotion. Prabhupada is writing that we can develop. First thing is said that easy method of loving Krishna. And by nectar of devotion gives us the science of loving everyone, living beings, perfectly by the easy method of loving Krishna. You love Krishna, you can love everything. Right? So, and nectar of devotion is teaching us how to perform simple and natural method of loving Krishna. Right? How, whom we have to love, how we can do it, right? And the third thing is the what's the benefit of doing it. That also is speaking. And the nectar of devotion, all men how to perform simple and natural method of loving Krishna. And the third point is will teach us how to turn one switch that will immediately brighten everything. Right? Easiest method. And then here it is said, Prabhupada said, nectar of devotion, sure that the fire of material existence will go away. Benefit what you are going to get it by reading this nectar of devotion. Right? Material existence, right? Fire of material existence will go away. Right? And the practical tips how we can live in this material world. Right? So that we can be happy, perfectly engaged devotion and fulfill all our desires in this life also, in the next also. And then Prabhupada is saying that this nectar of devotion, we are not presenting it to, uh, what to say, condemn any way of materialistic life. Rather, we are giving a way of loving Krishna. And when we love one love, right, for the devotees who are engaged in Krishna conscious movement, this nectar of devotion is presented. So these are all the benefits, Sambandha, Abhidheya, and the kind of prayojan what nectar of devotion offers. In this preface, Prabhupada is speaking how we can develop that. And okay, so in the last class we have seen the shloka or the definition of the bhakti. Is it right? And we have seen the Swarupa Lakshan and Tatastha Lakshan. Yes. What is the Swarup Lakshan?
Pullena Krishnanu.
Huh? Yes, bro, बताइए.
I think Anukulena Krishnanu and
हाँ, अनुकूल Krishna Anushil is the,
Sarup Lakshan.
what is that?
Primary.
This is the primary characteristics, is it right?
Yes, sir.
सब लोग स्क्रीन देखने लग गए क्या? Okay, this is just to give a brief idea of that what we discussed last time of the nectar of devotion, how it is divided, right? Each section divided into 4 sections: eastern section, southern section, northern and western section, which you are seeing. First part of it, that is eastern section, which is divided into 4 laharis or the waves, which is called, right? Samanya Bhakti, Sadhan Bhakti, Bhava Bhakti and Prem Bhakti. Right? These waves of devotion, this book is, Prabhu has given it. And yeah, this first part, if you see, of course, these all we discussed it already. Chapters which we till we are yes, right, till 16th chapter, and third, 17th, 18th is Bhava Bhakti, Prem Bhakti is chapter 19. Devotional service in pure love of God, devotional in ecstasy. Okay, some other, what are the other divisions? Some description I want to just show you so that you'll get some idea what all are there in the other parts of that section. The southern part of it, if you see it on the screen, you're able to see it? No.
I can see
Yes, Prabhu,
fourth
it's visible.
wave, Prema Bhakti. Now I
Not
can.
Prema Bhakti, Prabhu.
Now it is visible. Southern Ocean
Come
overview
down.
of Bhakti Rasa.
हाँ, प्रेम भक्ति से थोड़ा नीचे आना पड़ेगा, साधन भक्ति में पहला। प्रेम भक्ति दिखेगा तो कैसे होगा? Yeah. This is above Prema Bhakti also. Okay, na? This is the Southern Ocean. The next part of it, which we are going to, which you can read it in the further part of your Krishna consciousness life ahead when you go. Southern Ocean, overview of Bhakti Rasa. Southern Ocean, how many villages are there? These are almost like 5, I think. First wave, second wave, third, fourth, and fifth wave. 5 laharis are there. Divisions of it. So first one is Vibhava, ecstatic stimulants. So in this we can read it of transcendental qualities of Krishna, quality of Krishna, further explain Krishna's personality and all such details and like that. Don't ask much details. I'll just show you the what to say. Just the what to say idea about what are all there. Right? Further explanation, Rajgopinath Prabhu will take. Anubhava, subsequent ecstasy, Satvika Bhava, existential ecstasy, Vyabhichari Bhava, transitory ecstasies, Sthai Bhava, constitutional ecstasy. So, what is it? I also don't know. I am also just reading the wordings here so that you can understand how many laharis are there in which section. So, this is the western section. This is the southern section which you have seen. And in the western section, right, here, direct Bhakti Rasa. The first, this is also divided into 4 waves. Means what all chapters are there? It is divided into 5 kind of divisions in that. Right? And in this Western Ocean, this direct Bhakti Rasa, it is about the rasas which is speak. We all know there are 5 prominent rasas. What are that? Yes, Prabhu, what are the 5 prominent rasas?
शांत्य दास्य साख्य वात्सल्य मान.
हाँ, यस, बाकी लोग सब जगह है ना?
Yes.
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah, Shantaras, Preeti Rasa, of course, this is Dasya Ras, and friendship, Sakya Ras, Preyo Ras is called friendship, Vatsalya Ras, and Madhurya Ras. These are the 5 rasas. So that is discussed in the western side of the western section. You divide it into 4 sections. In the western part of it is discussed in this. Then next one is the northern part. This is the last part of that book 9 of the Nectar of Devotion. This is indirect Bhakti Rasa. In this also it divided into how many waves? 6, 7, 8 waves, 9. Okay, what are all that? We'll see this headings. The first wave is Asya Ras, हंसने का रस, लाफर, ये भी एक रस है, ठीक है. सेकेंड एंड थर्ड वेव्स आर अद्भुत रस एंड वीर्य रस, वीर रस, वीर्य रस ना, चैवलरी रस. Okay. Then fourth and fifth waves, Karuna Ras and Raudra Ras, compassion and anger. Yeah. Sixth and seventh waves, Bhayanaka Ras and Vibhatsa Ras. Okay. Eighth wave, Maitri Virus Titi, compatible and incompatible mixture of mellows. Okay. The ninth wave is we all know about it. हम भी करते रहते बहुत बार. Rasabas. रस का आभास, imperfect expression of mellows. क्योंकि लास्ट कंक्लूजन देने के लिए रसाभास क्या होता है, मतलब ये सब सुन के हमको लगता है कि हम भी प्योर डिवोटी हो गए, उसी लास्ट में कंक्लूजन कर रहे हैं. ये ऑफ कोर्स मेरा स्पेकुलेशन है, बट बोल रहा हूँ क्यों दिया मुझे पता नहीं, पढ़ने का बस परवर्टेड एक्सप्रेशन ऑफ द मेलोस. ये शायद ये चैप्टर हमारे लिए बहुत अपील होगा. रसाभास.
I was also thinking we can start from here.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Raghu, that only great souls like Aj Gopinath Prabhu can do that with courage. Rasabhas. Imperfect expression of the mellows. ये सब सुनने के बाद हमको लग सकता है कि हम लोग भी प्योर डिवोटी हो गए होंगे, फिर उसीलिए लास्ट में रसाबास फोकस हम रहते, ये सब कुछ नहीं है आपको, आप जो कर रहे हैं वो रसाबास है. Okay, anyways, so this is how the description of nectar of devotion. Definitely in the Bhakti Shastri course, which we are all trying to read, is first 19 chapters of Eastern section which we read. But this as a further a part of our years of spending Krishna consciousness, right? We can read it. The other waves are also, which is not, as of now, not included in the Bhakti Rasa. Bhakti is one. Is there something like Rasa Para? That is what Rasa Abhas wahi hai. अच्छा, नाम अपराध नाम आवास सिद्ध नाम. अच्छा, वैसा कुछ है नहीं लोग. रसा अपराध कुछ वैसा होता है कि नहीं पता नहीं, रसा आवास होता है, ये बताया इधर. Okay, anyways, so we are entering into that part of the section which we discussed, right? Definition of bhakti. Anyabhilashita sunyam gana karmadhyanaavritam. Right, last time we were discussing, of course, some part of the book which we discussed of Bhanswam Maharaj, right? Jiva Goswami Shanachakar Thakur. Oh, this is also this is Maharaj name Dhanur Das Maharaj, Danvir Das Maharaj, Danvir Swami. This is Maharaj's book written. Right? This is the mostly Prabhupada's whatever nectar of devotion is there. He wrote it based on that, and some from Jiva Goswami Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur commentaries also he took and then he consolidated it here. So, okay, some part of it, the Swarupa Lakshana and Tatastha Lakshana we have seen. Okay, what is Swarupa and what is Tatastha Lakshana? Yes, Prabhu. Swarupa Lakshana, we discussed about it. Anukulyena Krishna Anushilanam. This is the basic quality, right, of the bhakti. And then next to come, how to make that bhakti pure is by the Tatastha Lakshana which it has. What is the Tatastha Lakshana?
ज्ञान कर्मादि नाम
बताइए. जो नहीं बताया वो बताइए. यस प्रभु, तटस्थ लक्षण क्या होता है? हाँ बोलिए प्रभु. क्या? Yes, Prabhu. क्या डिवोटीज को आता नहीं है बोले कि नहीं तो नहीं बोलना चाहते.
ज्ञान कर्मादि अनावृतम.
हाँ.
Free of Gyan and Karma and others. Gyan, Karma.
ये वीडियो मेरे लिए अच्छा है फिर
चाहिए.
Which makes the bhakti pure. Ingredients which are.
Prabhu, we could not hear much. I think that some issue was there.
Yes, Prabhu. So we see that सुनाई दे रहा है ना? इस तटस्थ लक्षण if you see, it is अनुकूल्य अन्याभिलाषिता शून्यम ज्ञान कर्मादि अनावृतम. So last time we have seen about how the using of the words which Rupa Goswami has done, Anukulyena and then Krishna, Anushilanam. So that has a particular meaning. If you don't use any of these words, either of these words, right? Jiva Goswami comments and Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur also last time we were reading, how if you don't use the word Anukulyena, then it is not directly indicating bhakti or some aspects of the bhakti. Like it's not only just about actions, right? It is intentions also matter. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur commented on that, how if you don't include the word Anukulyena, then how the Kamsa, right, actions were pleasing Krishna, but that is not favorable to devotional service. So that cannot be included in the pure devotional service. And then we have seen that example of Yashoda Mai also, keeping Krishna aside and going for fetching, for turning off the milk. And apparently, it seemed that our action was not pleasing Krishna. Right? So, if you don't include that word, intention, then that is like puts the Kamsa in and Yashoda out, right? According to the definition, if you don't include the word of Anukulyena. So that is how we've seen that how Anushilanam, right, the word which is used, continuous, right, devotional service. Of course, the Shilanam word, right, is activity, right, or in some places it is defined as following in the footsteps, of the great devotees, right, like that. So Anukulyena Krishna Anushilanam Bhaktir Uttama. Then how to make that bhakti more pure? This is the basic quality which is required. And how that bhakti becomes more and more pure is by removing little more, making it more finer. By adding this also Anya Abhilashita. Anya Abhilashita is no material desires. Mora e Abhilash Vilas Kunje Diyo Vas. Yes, which we do it in Tulsi Aarti. Right? Only Abhilash is pure devotional service, no other Abhilash. So Anya Abhilashita. Here Rupa Goswami writes that how Ita is it's a, I think Jiva Goswami's commentary we were seeing last time how the word Ita is used. Right? Somebody in danger, right? Draupadi crying out, crying out. I think Vishwanath Chakravarti is writing. Draupadi is crying, right, to get help from Krishna. It's not that she is not in pure devotion. That is not in pure devotional service because she is asking for some help or some other desires she has. Right? So that Ita word itself covers it that no other desires, but sometimes the desire of getting help from Krishna in a life difficult situations or something like that. That is included in the devotional service, pure devotional service. It is not said that it is out of pure devotional service because they are asking for some material help or protection of their body or something like that. So apart from this, no other desire. Of course, if we are just going through that Radhesham Prabhu's Nectar of Devotion PPT also, in that Prabhupada writes it as Radhesham Prabhu shows it as Ita as a motives also. No other material desires and motives like that. It's been translated. Of course, I don't know the reference of Ita, the motivation, right, which is important. So, and huh? Yes, sir, devotion. ठीक है प्रभु, हम वेव सब डिवोशन से आपको दिखा रहे हैं. नीचे जाना पड़ेगा. 8 में हम अनुशीलनम. ओके प्रभु. All the positive and negative devotional activity cannot connect to Krishna without the assistance of the disciplic succession. Anu. Srila Rupa Goswami indicates this with the prefix anu, which means that which follows. Devotional activities are under the internal energy. Or anukulyena. Ya anukulyena. Srila Prabhupada. Srila Rupa Goswami. Rupa Goswami's. आपको दिख रहा है नार्बल सबको? प्रभु लोग दिख रहे हैं ना? छोटा सा पार्ट पढ़ रहे हैं हम.
Physical placement of the
Sanskrit words illustrates this point. Shilanam activities cannot connect to Krishna without anu, disciplic succession. Krishna anu Shilanam. Shilanam matlab activities. Krishna Anushilana. Anu matlab disciplic succession. Without anu, disciplic succession. But Rupa Jiva Goswami वाला में अनुशीलनम को ट्रांसलेट अलग किए हैं. Continuous. ठीक है. बाकी का जो प्रभु जी समझा देंगे. आज क्वेश्चन नहीं उठाएगा कोई. ठीक है. रुकिए. पहले कुछ करेंगे. ठीक है. ये सब हम लोग चर्चा किए थे. वेरियर पढ़ रहे हैं. रुकिए तो. तटस्थ लक्षणम सेकेंडरी कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स. 2 secondary characteristics ये अन्याभिलाषिता शून्यम ज्ञान कर्म आदि अनावृतम है ना. ओके. अन्य अभिलाषिता शून्यम फ्री फ्रॉम द अल्टीरियर मोटिव. अन्य मीन्स अदर. अभिलाषिता इंटीग्रल डिजायर मोटिव. शून्य मीन्स void. ओके. ठीक है. ठीक है प्रभु. कोई पढ़िए. तो पढ़िए प्रभु इधर से कोई. अन्य अभिलाषिता शून्यम.
Anyabhilasita Sunyam means void of any other desire. Srila Prabhupada says any desire except for the service of the Lord is called material desire. If one says that pure devotional service is utterly void of all material desires, that would be too exclusive. Therefore,
मतलब
Srila
सब हटा दिया
Prabhupada
ऐसा लगता
Srila
है.
Rupa Goswami modifies Anyavilasa, material desire, by adding the suffix ta.
था.
Abhilasa means
पढ़ी.
desire. The suffix ta means ness. Thus, abhilasita literally means desireness. Since desireness is a cumbersome and uncertain term, we will use another and define it clearly. We translate abhilasa as desire and abhilasita as motive. We define motive as a desire that is an integral part of one's nature. One can have a personal desire and still not be out of the realm of pure devotional service, as long as that desire is not an integral part of one's nature. For example, suppose a devotee who has dedicated his full energy to the advancement in devotion is suddenly put in a life threatening situation. He may call out, Krishna, save me.
कृष्णा
This is not
save me.
This is not a desire for Krishna's pleasure. It is a personal desire for self-preservation. But it is but it not an
It is not.
but it is not an integral part of the devotee's nature. It is a superficial, fleeting desire. It is not a motive. It is not anya vilasita.
Hmm. Hmm. Such.
Such non such non-integral desires do not exclude one from pure devotional service. This gives scope to the feasibility of executing pure devotional service even in the stage of practice sadhana bhakti.
Hmm. So this is how. ठीक है ये जीव गोस्वामी का.
So what does this mean? Integral desire and non-integral desire, like in simple terms.
क्या हुआ?
What do we mean by integral desire? Integral part of one's nature, integral desire and non-integral desire.
Such non-integral
What's the
desires do not exclude one from pure devotional service. Non-integral desires मतलब ये devotee practicing devotional service, right? Some as a but non-integral desire matlab sometimes here Jiva Goswami has given that example, and then in this also Maharaj is writing that sometimes in difficulty devotee has called out to Krishna. That is not his part of integral desire, and when he is not cultivating the desire of to protecting his material body, that is not his whole purpose of doing devotional service. But sometimes in the difficulty he may pray out for Krishna. Such non-integral desires do not exclude one from pure devotional service. It is not an integral part of his desire to protect his body, he is doing devotional service. Understood? So, in the difficulty, he has prayed out. So, that doesn't mean that, oh, Prabhu, he is also having some material desires. No. Yeah. So, the main part of the devotee is devotional nature. But because of some difficulty, he might have prayed to Krishna to protect him. Understood?
Yes, so.
Here it is written earlier. We define motive as a desire that is an integral part of one's nature. Some desires, some motivations which we have. But here in difficulty, some devotee calling out to Krishna is not that his motive is that only. Just to get some protection in difficulty, he is practicing Krishna conscious. No. He is doing without having any motivation, personal motivation or personal desires he doesn't have. But in some difficulty, he might operate to Krishna. So that is also included in the pure devotional service only. That's why Rupa Goswami is translated as Anya Abhilashita Sunyam. Okay, Prabhus? Is that okay?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Anybody has any doubts or questions? Then we'll go to the next one. Jnana karmadi anavritam. Yeah, yes, sir.
Prabhuji, I've asked one question in the chat.
Okay. Last in chat, Prabhu, chat. Okay, now why Sudama did not ask for the food? That is also pure devotional service only. Maybe Sudama might have not felt that, or that's what the description which comes, that Sudama felt that how can I ask for such things when I go to Krishna? Right? So he did not want to ask. Right? That may be Sudama's personal desire of not asking. प्रभु आप कुछ कमेंट करना इसके ऊपर? सुदामा प्योर डिवोशनल सर्विस उसमें इंक्लूड नहीं करते क्या सुदामा को? Sudama did not ask for food, na? So Draupadi did not. Draupadi asked, so that is included in pure devotional service. But Sudama did not ask. So he also knows that okay, asking for food is not that it is not pure devotional service. It is also pure devotional service because he is in difficulty. So, but still he did not ask.
Yeah, because different devotee had different.
Yeah. So that's what Prabhu. The same thing is that the different devotees have different ways of doing it. Even if somebody asks for it also, that should not be considered as non-devotional. ऐसा नहीं कि कुछ लोग प्रार्थना करते होंगे, कुछ लोग सोचते होंगे कृष्ण का इच्छा होगा मैं इसी प्रकार से शरीर छोड़ दूं, तो वो लोग छोड़ भी देते, वो भी परफेक्ट डिवोशनल सर्विस है, और वो पूछ भी लिया, वो भी परफेक्ट डिवोशनल सर्विस है. Is that okay?
Yes, Prabhuji.
हाँ, उसमें तो अभी इंटेंशंस क्या मोटिवेशन है वो सब तो डिपेंड होता है. हाँ, so different situations, Prabhu, different devotees, right? They may ask. So that's why Rupa Goswami is making it clear that where it is not. So it's basically pure devotional service. Right? Sometimes some devotees may feel based upon their experiences of or their intention behind asking that also differs, right? For what it is being asked for. Draupadi's case it is different, and Sudama's case would be different. And though both are pure devotees, they prefer differently. But for us, it is like this. Anya Abhilashita. Now, Prabhu, my motivation was different. I have prayed something else. That's why I developed this desire for Krishna. So that we cannot say, because here what Rupa Goswami is saying here, Anya Bilashita. What could be included in the pure devotional service is in that difficulty of great difficulty, somebody asking for help from Krishna for protection, that is included in the pure devotional service. That only, not that we desire something else and we say, Prabhu, finally I am only desiring for the pleasure of Krishna only. No? So is that okay, Prabhu? Clear it is? 1 minute, Prabhu. Sachin Prabhu already line. Yes, Sachin Prabhu.
Integral part of one's nature.
Is okay?
Does it mean that we are repeating?
Huh?
Repeatedly we are having one desire. Does that mean integral part of one's nature? Like we are asking one desire and having one desire repeatedly again and again. That becomes a nature. Does it mean that?
It's not audible, Aribal. Louder.
Is it audible? Now it's audible.
Now it's audible.
So I'm asking the integral part of one's nature. Does it mean that one is asking one is having one desire again and again? like it become his nature now. So does it mean this constantly
that
one is
is
having?
integral part of nature means its natural nature of conditioned soul is to engage in sense gratification. Now here which is discussed is the devotee is now natural integral part of it is pure devotional service. So, but sometimes he may ask out of difficulty or in difficult situation, he prayed to Krishna for his protection. So that is also included in the pure devotional service. So that is not non-integral, that is, but that is included in the pure devotional service. Is that okay? Very easy to understand. Integral desire means one's nature, one's स्वभाव nature इसके प्रकार अनुसार है ना, जो desires develop करते हैं, that is like material desires, we can equate it like that. Non-integral means what? Now devotee, when he becomes pure, practicing pure devotional principles, now that has become his devotional nature, has become the integral nature. Okay, so now asking something like this is a non-integral desire, but that doesn't mean that the devotee is excluded from the pure devotional service. That's why Rupa Goswami used this word Anya Abhilashita, Sunyam, zero. Then next part he says Jnana Karma Adi Anavrutam. या ज्ञान कर्म आदि, आदि मतलब आप लोगों को पता ही है. ओके, इधर से पढ़ लेते रुकिए. ओके,
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु.
एक मिनट. हाँ, कौन पूछ रहे हो? Yes, Prabhu.
So my question is, so in this way, if somebody is asking for a job for his personal maintenance, then will that be also considered?
इसीलिए मैं बोला प्रभु जी ऑलरेडी कि फरस अन्याभिलाषिता मतलब इसके अलावा जब डेंजर में है, कुछ डिफिकल्टी में है, जब पूछ कर लाइफ थ्रेटनिंग ऐसा कुछ कि अंतिम है, इसके अलावा और कुछ नहीं है ना, कि आप फिसल गए और पहाड़ के ऊपर से 500 फीट के अंदर गिर रहे हैं, आपका सिर जो है 100 टुकड़ा तोड़ने वाला है, उस टाइम में कृष्णा बचा लो. That is also pure devotional service. Right? Job is not a life. I don't think it's a 500 feet fall, nor it's going to break your head. Right? It's if you don't get this job, you can do some other job. Right? For maintenance, that doesn't mean that our software company only will maintain us. Our maintenance is done by Krishna. So faith is more on the software, hardware or whatever it is. But an example. So that are all like, that's why I said, Prabhu, we cannot include anything and if I get job, then I'll not able to sustain. That could be, somebody may say, Prabhu, my life threatening is that if I don't, in one plane of, it could more of the difficulty, small amount of difficulty, but that is not such a difficulty. Without which we are not going to live only. No, we can live, right? For eating, practicing devotional service a little bit also, not required so much. Is that okay, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu.
तो इसलिए बोल दिए ना.
मतलब जैसे अगर कोई कैपेबल आदमी है जैसे कृष्ण, तो हम कुछ भी करें तो जैसे जनरली बोलते हैं कि इंटरव्यू में तो प्रे करके जाना चाहिए भगवान से या कुछ भी ऐसा. तो और वो एप्रिशिएटेड भी है अमंग डिवोटीज को, कुछ भी अच्छा करने जा रहे हैं तो प्रे करते हैं, तो प्योर डिवोशन में इंक्लूडेड नहीं.
वो प्योर डिवोशन
और जनरली डिवोटीज भी बोलते हैं कि आप वहां पे जा रहे हैं तो प्लीज प्रे फॉर माय हेल्थ और ये और वो और मैसेजेस भी आता है ग्रुप पे, तो वो तो एप्रिशिएटेड प्रैक्टिस है, लेकिन वो प्योर डिवोशन सर्विस में.
So that depends on how much percentage we are purely doing it.
वो करना चाहिए।
हाँ
हेल्थ ग्रेन मैं मनमोहन नहीं कर पा रहे, पर करना चाह रहे तो अच्छा
वो कर सकते हैं आप। इसको प्योर डिवोशनल सर्विस में ऐड कर पाएंगे वो, या डेफिनेशन के अनुसार
मोटिव।
वही है ना, motivation differences, what. That's why it is very difficult to analyze somebody's motives. That's why Rupa Goswami is saying अन्य अभिलाषिता, इसको ही वो एक्सट्रीम एंड का उसको ही नहीं ऐड कर सकते हैं।
और एक और डाउट है कि भगवान और अगर हमको केयर करते हैं तो भगवान से कुछ भी मांगे, मतलब हर चीज के लिए भगवान
मांग सकते हैं आप, उसको प्योर डिवोशनल सर्विस में ऐड नहीं करेंगे आप।
मिश्र हो गया ना,
आपको प्योर आप मांग सकते हैं, मांगने में गड़बड़
हम
नहीं
तो
है।
भगवान से ही मांगे।
हाँ चलेगा, वो स्लोली आप उड़ेंगे ना।
गोल मतलब अनअडल्टरेटेड, आप अडल्ट्रेशन कर रहे हैं तो मिश्र हो गया।
मांग कोई भी सकते, पर सबको भक्ति नहीं बोल सकते हैं।
भक्ति है,
प्योर डिवोशनल,
कर्म मिश्र भक्ति है,
हाँ मतलब
ज्ञान मिश्र भक्ति।
भगवान से मतलब भक्ति, पर प्योर भक्ति नहीं है।
शुद्ध उत्तम भक्ति नहीं है, मिश्र नहीं।
अच्छा
ठीक है प्रभु।
क्वालिफाइड है।
अभी और क्वेश्चन नहीं लेंगे, अभी थोड़ा आगे बढ़ेंगे।
छोटा सा क्वेश्चन बस ब्रो।
वो छोटा सा ही पूरा क्लास खत्म कर देगा ब्रो, 6 बजे में। ठीक है, पूछिए जल्दी पूछिए।
तो जी बस पूछ रहे थे कि कभी कभी होता है कि वी हैव अ वेरी क्लियर फीलिंग कि अगर ऐसा होता तो अच्छा होता, या ऐसा होता तो अच्छा होता, तो इस टाइप का चीज। बट एक्सटर्नली वी प्रे ऑल्सो इन वर्ड्स दैट ओ कृष्णा ऐसा मेरा डिजायर है, बट you do whatever you like, but inside we feel कि if only this happens it will be nice. So तो मतलब
तो वही तो बोल रहे
pure
प्रभु, इधर
devotional service।
हाँ उधर इधर भी, यहाँ पर भी प्रश्न था हमारे प्रभु का भी यही प्रश्न था कि कुछ हम प्रार्थना करके जाते हैं भगवान के हेल्थ अच्छा रखो ताकि हम भक्ति कर सकते हैं, ये सब। तो ये सब डिवोशनल सर्विस है, वी कैन से, बट दिस आर मिक्स्ड, it's not completely pure. What Rupa Goswami is saying, pure devotional self definition is anya abhilashita sunyam. Right. Except this, everything else, no other desire devotee has. And in whatever way Krishna you want to keep me, please keep me. That's what Gopi is praying to the Lord. Our maintainer, Krishna is our protector. In whatever way he wants to keep us, we are ready for it.
तो प्रोटी they don't even feel pure devotees like कि even अगर ऐसा होता तो it will be very nice, or if this would be happen then it will be nice. तो इस टाइप का डिजायर भी नहीं होता है उनके पास, मतलब
वो भी नहीं होता है। Whatever happens, whatever it is all Krishna's, they accept it.
Whatever comes they will accept, but before it doesn't, the result is not come or something like this, maybe मतलब जैसे प्रभुपाद सोच रहे थे कि वो डिवोटी लीग ऑफ डिवोटीज कि इफ ये बन जाएगा तो अच्छा रहेगा, तो ऐसा उनका डिजायर था, लेकिन वो नहीं बना, तो ही एक्सेप्टेड लेटर कि ओके कृष्णा हैज सम बेटर प्लान। तो बिफोर जो उनका प्लान था कि दिस इफ दिस इज बी देयर दैट विल बी नाइस, मतलब ये ऑफ कोर्स स्पिरिचुअल था वो, बट वो भी कृष्णा के लिए था, बट इन आवर मटेरियल लाइफ।
हाँ डेफिनेटली, अभी हम ऑफ कोर्स पहले तो ये है कि हम शिला प्रभुपाद को मोटिवेशन का कमेंट नहीं कर पाएंगे ना, प्योर डिवोटी का हम क्या बोल पाएंगे कि क्या है एग्जैक्टली, प्योर डिवोशनल था नहीं था, ये हम कैसे कमेंट करेंगे उसको। प्योर डिवोटी तो प्रभुपाद प्योर डिवोटी है, एक्सेप्टेड, इट्स बिटवीन कृष्णा एंड हिम। बट व्हाट लेसन वी Prabhupada taught us that don't get discouraged there, go ahead. We should not get discouraged in Krishna consciousness. We keep opening new things and go ahead, doing service to Krishna. तो अभी प्रभुपाद का इंटेंशन को हम क्या ये कर पाएंगे कि प्रभुपाद का क्या था, ये प्योर डिवोशनल सर्विस था कि नहीं, शायद मैं तो बोल नहीं पाऊंगा, पता नहीं कोई और डिवोटी भी कमेंट करना चाहते प्रभुपाद का प्योर डिवोशनल था कि नहीं। प्रभुपाद जो झांसी में लीग ऑफ डिवोटीज बनाना चाहते ना उस समय, तो प्रभुपाद जब ये हो गया, मतलब टूट गया, नहीं बन पाया, तो प्रभुपाद चले गए थे वेस्ट उसके बाद। तो प्रभुपाद भी सोचे थे ना कि ये बन जाएगा तो इंडिया में हमारा प्रीचिंग हो जाएगा, ये हो जाएगा।
Radical hope, radical आश्वासन उत्कंठा,
हाँ
डिफरेंट थिंग है वो। अभिलाषा मतलब पर्सनल डिजायर, वो तो गुरु महाराज के डिजायर फुल कर रहे हैं ना, तो वो तो दैट्स ओके बिकॉज यू आर कंसर्न अबाउट द मिशन, for the mission of Guru Maharaj, you can have desire. So Prabhupada struggle in Jhansi, and that is about his attempt to fulfill the desire of Guru Maharaj. So when you are trying to serve a spiritual master, or if you are engaged in service of Krishna, in deity service, whatever service, so always job or always meditation is to do the service the best possible way, and looking for the result. That's okay because you have the asa. You want to serve the best you can. But abhilasha means it's personal desire. It's personal desire. So ita जो है, that is only number one, death threatening circumstance आएगा के पास. Number two, it is sudden desire. सडन आ गया ध्यान में, ये आपका ये नेचर नहीं रहा है, सडन आया है, टेम्पररी आया है, फिर चल जाएगा ये. Number three, it is not harmful to bhakti. Number four is that it came beyond your control. That is it. It came beyond your control. You paid Krishna. So that is included, but that is not that has been your nature and you are doing. That has been your cultivated desire, your planned, and every time it keeps coming. That means not. That means we have abhilasha. It's not so to the degree we have abhilasha. None feel so bad, but we are not yet ready for the uttama bhakti. We have a mishra. That's.
और कुछ प्रश्न है तो पूछ लो और बोल, फिर बाद में दिक्कत.
मिस भक्ति से गोलोक में स्पिरिचुअल वर्ल्ड में कितना भक्ति लगता है, मिस भक्ति से जा सकते हैं, मिस भक्ति से हम लोग गोलोक जा सकते हैं.
आप गीता वाला की है ना क्लास, वी हैव डिस्कस्ड ऑल द रूट्स. मिश्र भक्ति भी आपको बैकुंठ ले जाएगा. कर्म लैडर, सॉरी भक्ति लैडर में आप देखे होंगे, योगा लैडर आप देखे होंगे.
उस टाइम शायद नहीं
पसंद नहीं होता.
अच्छा, इन लोग का दोबारा स्टार्ट कर.
4K क्लास.
ठीक है, तो योगा लैडर में उसमें हम लोग देखे भी थे कि कर्म मिश्रा भक्ति जो है, जहाँ पर भक्ति प्रोमिनेंट है, थोड़ा कर्म भी आ गया है. ठीक है, तो कर्म भक्ति और ये आपको बैकुंठ ले जाने में समर्थ हो जाते हैं.
वैकुंठ से गोलोक जा सकते हैं.
गोलोक के लिए तो नहीं,
वैकुंठ से फिर तो वहाँ पर कुछ एडवांसमेंट नहीं है.
अन्यभिलाषित वाला में, इसमें अन्यभिलाषित वाला सेकंड वाला जो प्रॉपर जो डिजायर जो है गुरु महाराज के लिए. तो ऐसा कोई ये भी कर सकता है ना कि मैं भाई ये कर रहा हूँ ताकि मिशन के लिए करना चाहता हूँ, मेरा अच्छा जॉब होगा, इधर ये होगा तो डिवोटीज के लिए बना दूंगा, वो बना दूंगा, तो वो भी वो उसी प्लान पे है, तो उसको भी प्योर डिवोशन में ऐड करेंगे क्या? क्योंकि वो बोल रहे हैं कि गुरु महाराज का इसमें यूज करूंगा.
नहीं, तो प्रभुपाद जी का जब बिजनेस कोलैप्स हो गया, प्रभुपाद सिंह लाफ्ड, नेवर प्रेड दैट भगवान मेरा बिजनेस होता है तो मैं ये करता. ही हैड प्लान्ड इन दैट अर्लियर, अगर बिजनेस चल रहा है तो यूज करेंगे, बट द मोमेंट इट कोलैप्स्ड, जस्ट लाफ्ड एंड सेड थैंक कृष्ण फॉर शोइंग मी द रियलिटी ऑफ मटेरियल नेचर. दैट इज ट्रू डिवोटी.
Now during that time, the thought which was there for Prabhupada of using that money for preaching the Krishna conscious movement in the prayer.
So while he had the money,
so how we have to conceive that.
So that time he had the business and he had planned to engage the money. That's okay.
So that is.
But then he never prayed that Krishna, please protect my business. Never finds this kind of prayer. he had planned to engage the business in service of Guru Maharaj, but when Krishna took over the business, he laughed. Saman anugrehanam harisyata dhanam shanai. So, yeah. Yeah. So, any personal desire?
So, in our devotional service also, we make plans that things will go like this, or it will be look good if things will go like this, and we pray, or we pray. At least we have a desire. If we don't pray, at least we have a desire that this should, like, I have planned like this. It should go like this, and it will be nice like that. So,
I think we are getting confused with being positive, with being hopeful, and we are getting confused with the having desire. Desire is different. अभिलाषा मतलब कि आपको ये constant ambition है ये. But being positive about anything, yes, I want this to remain. I'm hoping, but I'm not serving Krishna for it. Now, to have positive, to have the hope, to remain positive, that's good. Prabhupada always had the hope against hope. Anything.
Desire means is a deep-rooted thing.
Desire means uta rooted hoya nature sara aapka. And we are praying to Krishna for it. Dhanam dehi, sukram dehi, janam dehi.
It is our hetu for praying Krishna, like that, Prabhuji.
Yes. So आपका अनुशीलनम जो है हो रहा है उसके लिए हो रहा है. अनुशीलनम में वो मिक्स्ड है. भक्ति का जो एक्टिविटी जो आप कर रहे हैं अनुशीलनम, that is being triggered by the anya abhilasa. So that is goes out of the uttama bhakti. But having positive view always, जब अच्छा रहेगा तो हम सेवा करेंगे, हेल्थ को फिट रखो ये देखो. That's called युक्त आहार विहार सिद्ध चेष्टा कर्म से युक्त स्वप्न वो बहुत अच्छे. Just to do the bhakti, you have to keep the balance of things, and we try for it. But bhakti इसके लिए हम नहीं कर रहे हैं.
So,
We are not doing Swaman Kirtana for this.
But
doing this, but you are keeping this in track so that you can do Swaman Kirtana.
Prabhuji, then we have so many material desires, enjoyment, but we are not. If we are not doing bhakti to fulfill those desires, then still, like in our conditional state, we can practice pure devotional service.
Oh yes, तभी तो साधना भक्ति में ला रहे हैं ना इसको. अभी प्रभु जी आपको साधना भक्ति पढ़ा रहे हैं ना.
सामान्य
नहीं, जो भी है पर ये साधना भक्ति का ये है. आप साधना भक्ति में शुद्ध भक्ति आप कर सकते हैं. That is the whole purpose of discussion. शुद्ध भक्ति करे ये नहीं है. साधना भक्ति में शुद्ध भक्ति कर सकता है. That's why we are trying to understand. साधना भक्ति ही है पर शुद्ध भक्ति कर रहा है वो. साधना भक्ति परमेश्वर भक्ति कर रहा है वो. तभी तो गीता वहां पे आ रहा है ना. उसको जो डिस्क्वालीफाई कर रहा है कि नहीं ये भी अलाउड है. डोंट थिंक ये आउट ऑफ हो गया है. Yendra praying to Krishna. That's okay because he prayed not out of his nature. He tried to fight. कुछ नहीं हुआ. Then he remembered Krishna and he prayed Krishna. That's acceptable. And therefore Krishna had to run. ऐसा नहीं कि भगवान गेंद को मरने दिए और मरने के बाद सेम बड़ी मिल जाता उनको. That is the whole point we are trying to understand. Desire के डिजायर जब अभिलाषा हो जाए, हम लोग डेली करते हैं मोरा ये अभिलाष विलास कुंज दियो. ये डिजायर को हम कल्टीवेट कर रहे हैं. I want to be in Vrindavan. I want desire is cultivated, desire is nourished. But thoughts जब आते हैं, every thought is not desire. Because the mind में thoughts आते रहेंगे. But the sadhana bhakta is ready to deal with those thoughts. And I learned in not giving himself that thought, he can practice Shuddha Bhakti. The thoughts का आना नहीं कि उसका डिजायर हुआ है, और जो पूरे संस्कार का जो थॉट्स आ रहे हैं उसको डिस्टर्ब कर रहे हैं, तो रेडी टू प्रैक्टिस Shuddha Bhakti. ओके, वैभव प्रभु.
Prabhu, that verse, Akamo Sarva Kamo Va, that verse is that referring to, like, I just wanted clarification. It seems like it is referring to Mishra Bhakti, not Uttama Bhakti.
कौन सा?
Akamo Sarva Kamo Va. It's whatever desire you practice Bhakti.
Yeah, so अकाम सर्व काम हुआ मोक्ष काम दाढ़. तो अकाम जो है that is उत्तम भक्ति, सर्व काम is मिश्र भक्ति, मोक्ष काम है मिश्र भक्ति, that is ज्ञान मिश्र भक्ति.
So that
but
is,
इधर कैसे करना कृष्ण?
but that is like what the ideal platform is. The ideal platform is Anya Vilashta. The ideal platform is Anya Vilashta.
Yeah, that's what that should we have to strive for. That should we have to aspire for. Anyway, in summary, I said three things. Number one, that every thought is not desire. Desire is cultivated. Desire is maintained. Desire is often triggered by the nature. So when the ether would have been used, Sarvati Departmentary, it said that it is the death threatening situation. Number two, the devotee praying beyond his control, the praying is going on. Number three, it is not harmful to devotional service. And number four, that it's not his nature. He's just praying in that situation. Yeah. So that will not disqualify him from Shuddha Bhakti. Okay? ठीक है. And Prabhupada examples are mainly for the Guru Maharaj mission. तो उसके लिए तो prayer करना that is never called abhilasha. I mean, never called आपका जो personal desire है. The desire is for the Guru Maharaj, for the mission of Lord Chaitanya. Different thing.
ठीक है प्रभु. आगे ये है जन्म कर्माद अनावृतम, नॉट कवर्ड बाय द ज्ञान और कर्म. जन्म कर्म आदि. Adi means other things which are included, right? ठीक है. ज्ञान और फिलॉसफी का सेपरेशन. हाँ, वो दिखा रहे दे रहा था कि आदे means other pursuits. इधर दिखा रहे देखो. We can apply the same paradigm to any other pursuits such as renunciation, yoga, astrology. वो सब इसमें है. One can utilize these processes, but they must not cover the bhakti. Avritam, ज्ञान कर्मादि अनावृतम. तो ज्ञान कर्म और आदि. आदि मीन्स वही जो एस्ट्रोलॉजी है, कुछ रिनंसिएशन है, कुछ सैक्रिफाइसेस कर रहे हैं. दिस ऑल दिस आइटम्स शुड नॉट कवर द भक्ति. मीन्स व्हाट? दे शुड नॉट गो बियॉन्ड भक्ति. मतलब दैट आर नॉट मोर इम्पोर्टेंट देन भक्ति. इफ दे बिकम मोर इम्पोर्टेंट देन भक्ति, then that is not called as pure devotional service. Whatever is required to practice pure devotional service of jnana, karma or other adi things could be used. Is that understandable? Here Rupa Goswami is not saying jnana, karma, adi sunyam. Not zero. Anavrutam. Which is not covering bhakti. Jnana also, karma also, which is not covering bhakti, which is part of, which could be used in devotional service, it is accepted in pure devotional service. Okay, and the example is given. I think it's Maharaj only gives that Srila Prabhupada, right? Generally, Prabhupada Thursdays he is not traveling. He used to say that Thursdays he used to avoid traveling, Prabhupada. But when it is needed for devotional service, for preaching, Prabhupada did not follow that. Matlab, he traveled on Thursday also. But generally he tried to avoid it. But if it is not, not disturbing his devotional service, he followed it. If it is disturbing for preaching programs, he did not followed it. So just an example wise I'm saying. So we can use it till the time it's not disturbing your devotional service. Okay, Prabhu, anavrutam, it should not cover the bhakti. यहाँ पर यही बता रहे हैं. Okay, Prabhu. An example of activity that might cover devotional service is astrology. कभी कभी होता है devotees भी भक्त बनने के बाद एस्ट्रोलॉजी के चक्कर में इतना एस्ट्रोलॉजी
वीडियो अटक गया.
that is wrong. Important then. Then you can say. Okay.
Prabhuji, we couldn't hear you last 30 seconds.
Yes. Okay. Haribol?
Hare Krishna, now audible.
Yeah. So we are discussing of right. Any example of activity that might cover devotional service astrology, although it can serve some functional purpose, a devotee may gradually put more faith in the power of destiny than in the power of bhakti, and thus impede or cover his surrender to Krishna. समझ में आ रहा प्रभु जी लोग?
Prabhuji, yes, so, लेकिन in regarding astrology and other things like
किन्हीं का कुछ प्रश्न है?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah, audible bro. Speak.
Through has question.
आप पूछ लीजिए.
हाँ?
इसके बाद आप पूछ लीजिए. आई विल आस्क आफ्टर यू.
पूछो.
रोहित, आप पूछे प्रदीप.
पूछो और बोल कोई तो. मेरा क्लास है.
रोजी, आई वाज आस्किंग कि लाइक हम जब बोलते हैं कि भक्ति शुड नॉट बी कवर्ड बाय कर्मा, दैट मीन्स बाय डूइंग आवर भक्ति वी शुड नॉट expect fruits of action, right? That is the meaning of.
Yeah, we should not have more faith on that activities than on bhakti.
These are
or jnana.
Means bhakti activities means
So these could be used in the devotional service.
Pure devotional service means the nine process of devotional service. Other than other activities are these are the karma, right? Like
no, not like that, Prabhu. Karma activities means which we are doing it for personal things, personal activities, just like the rituals also which we do in devotional service, right? Right, of offering or what to say, doing arti and all that, the kind of the rituals which you have in devotional service also. So not that faith more on the rituals than on the purpose. Is that okay?
Means you should put more faith on the purpose of pleasing Krishna than focusing so much on the rituals. Like,
Yeah. So in a simple way to say, karma is example to say that. Okay, we can use that rituals in serving Krishna, but rituals should not supersede the service to Krishna.
the ritual itself is service to Krishna, like offering arati and
I'm saying the ritual, yes, that's a way. Direct things which you have discussed now, right? But there could be some other indirect ways. So we should not put more stress on the rituals than on the purpose. Okay. Jnana also same thing. We need jnana to serve Krishna. For pure devotionals, for understanding Krishna, we need some jnana. But jnana should not be the only purpose. Right? Only just understanding, trying to read more books, trying to capture more and more knowledge. Purpose is that we should implement it in our devotional service. That should get more into action. We intensify our devotional service. We show it that by reading that jnana we got from reading by Acharya's books, we got more determination to practice devotion. That should be into the action. Or sometimes it should not that, okay, Prabhu, I'm trying to understand. Till the time I try to understand the project, I don't want to do any other activities. So that's why I did not chanted Prabhuji from last 2 days. So that means we have more faith on that jnana. Till the time I don't understand it, I'm not going to do any other activity. Okay, sometimes we have to understand some things are inconceivable. Krishna may make us understand after some time. So put it in the, what to say, car park, it is said. They say it on the seminars and all, put in car park. And as the time passes, some inconceivable box, put it in that. So by practice of devotional service, after some days, years, months, Krishna can reveal us. Yeah, so understanding the faith on Krishna should be more than all other things. Jnana, karma, adi, anavrutam. Whatever is not covering, this jnana karma should not cover the bhakti. Whatever is not covering the bhakti, that could be used in devotional service. That is pure devotional service. There is nothing called as zero. कोई ज्ञान का अर्जित नहीं है, केवल इंस्पिरेशन से चलता प्रभु मेरा भक्ति. No, that is not which Rupa Goswami is saying here. Okay, jnana karmadi shunyam, it is not been said. Anavrutam, it has been said.
so means those activities and those knowledge which favor the 9 processes of devotional service, that we can go ahead, like that we can accept.
Yeah.
Can we feel like that? Like
Ultimately, it should land up in the bhakti.
bhakti.
Yes, land up in the bhakti and more faith in that principles of bhakti. Surrender to Krishna. Here, of course, I'll show you here. You see, in the screen, in that one. Yeah, here you are seeing Prabhu. बंद हो गया. आप लोग देख नहीं रहे उसको. ओके प्रभु, आ गया? दिख रहा है आपको?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, if you see here, an example of activity that might cover devotional service is astrology. Although it can serve some functional purpose, a devotee may gradually put more faith in the power of destiny than in the power of bhakti, and thus impede or cover his surrender to Krishna. So that is being said that avoid it. Point is this, that it should not impede or cover his surrender to Krishna. Whatever jnana, karma and astrology adi, right? Astrology, renunciation, sacrifices, and all that, whatever you can add, that should not cover the devotional service. So here it is, devotional service need only involve the 9 activities of hearing, chanting, remembering, etc. Anything else is extraneous and could become an unfavorable impediment to pure devotion. Okay, so pure devotees must therefore be on guard not to let such extraneous activities overwhelm and cover one's hearing and chanting. Actually, Krishna consciousness is based simply on hearing, chanting, remembering. Besides which, everything done is unfavorable to Krishna consciousness. Thus, one should always be guarding against the fall downs. ठीक है प्रभु?
Yes, Prabhu.
समझ में आया अरुण?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Soji, understandable. But one thing I want to clarify, like sometimes.
Okay, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Shall we conclude?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
क्वेश्चन
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी।
क्या हाथ उठाया? Naveen and Sachin. Yes, Prabhu.